Hi, I'm Nenette and welcome to Nenette Chocolates. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make chocolate ganache to avoid all the pitfalls and most excitingly how to make your own hand-rolled truffles. So today what I'm going to do is to show you how to make a ganache filling. So a ganache, if you're wanting to know what on earth that is simply a mixture of chocolate and a liquid. So today's liquid of choice is double cream, and the chocolate I'm using today is a 40% milk chocolate. Let me just grab that for you, which looks like that. It's a boosted cocoa and reduced sugar version of milk chocolate, so it has lots of flavour to it. It's nice and punchy. So making a ganache, I don't know if any of you have tried this at home already, has a couple of things that I would want to point out, a few pitfalls, and also what I want to do therefore in this demonstration is show you how to recover a ganache that might have gone wrong, that you might otherwise looked at and thought the only thing I can do with that is to throw it away. So what I'm going to do is just move that out of the way for a second, is share with you tip number one for making your ganache. So what I would recommend is to start with is to bring your two ingredients, your chocolate and your liquid, the cream, to similar kind of temperatures to one another. And what I want to do with the chocolate is to just melt it. So I'm going to put it in the microwave for about half a minute, something like that, just to bring it to a melting point. This chocolate has been tempered quite recently, and it's in broken shard form like this, so it's not going to take very long to melt it in. So I'm using my 1000-watt microwave, which means that I need to be careful about when I melt my chocolate in there, because it's quite easy to burn chocolate in microwave. So what I'm going to do is do it in short bursts and bring it out and just move it around to get rid of any hot spots. So the cream also is going to be brought up to a similar kind of temperature as well, and to help me with this I'm going to be bringing back into play my trusty temperature gun as well. So this will help me just understand where we are on the temperature of my ingredients. So this, it's starting to melt, but it's still got a fair amount of solid chocolate in there. I thought it was going to take less time than this to melt, but hey, there we go. I should just put it in there for another 30 seconds and that's better. Okay, so that chocolate has now melted, and I'm happy that that's still got some solid bits in there, which I'm just going to stir through. So it's a very similar process to tempering chocolate that you will have seen in my previous demonstrations as well, but I'm not going to be adding any more chocolate to this to manage the temperature down. I'm not interested in tempering the chocolate at this stage. So the cream now is going in the microwave as well, very small quantity of cream. So just talking about quantities, I've got 125 grams of chocolate in here, and the cream I have 75 grams. So those are the kind of quantities or the ratios of the different ingredients to use, and you're obviously scale it up if you want to, but this kind of quantity will make about 20 or 30 little truffles. So that gives you an idea of how many you can make with the quantity of ingredients there. So that cream is nearly finished in the microwave for its 30-second little blast there. There we go. And that is bubbling away nicely, which is probably a little bit too warm, but there we are. You will also find, as I'm starting to work with chocolate and heating it for making truffles and things like that, is that I use plastic bowls that are microwave friendly, but also I will from time to time just pick up and cuddle the bowl, simply because I can feel what's going on in terms of temperature of the mixture versus my body temperature. So I'm just, if I'll know then, but just by touching the bowl, whether or not it's too warm. So the next thing I want to do is slowly add my cream to the chocolate, and I will do this in short bursts, simply because cream and chocolate, or chocolate, does not like liquid, and you can see immediately that this chocolate that was lovely and smooth is now quite solid. I don't know if you can see that. And this is the natural reaction of chocolate to a liquid. So the trick then is just to keep adding your liquid. So my cream for some reason today is a little on the solid side, but we'll see how it goes. So now you can see actually that this ganache is replicating the stages that you might see going on at home when you're thinking this is not working at all. So it was solid, and now having added more liquid, it looks quite shiny, but the surface of it looks as if it's a little like a curdled cake mixture, if you can imagine such a thing. So it looks like it's trying to separate. So what I'm going to do then is not lose heart at all, but keep adding more liquid. So as you add more liquid, the mixture loosens up more, it gets glossier, but I can still see that separation going on when I pick up the mixture in the bowl. So I'm just going to scrape out the last of my cream and add that to my mixture like this. And in doing so, it all of a sudden acquires a wonderful gloss to the texture and the look of the ganache, and it's got a wonderful texture to it as well. It just drops off the spatula, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got a wonderful shine to it as well now. So that is, in a nutshell, how to rescue your ganache. So tip number one, just to recap, is heat your two ingredients, your liquid and your chocolate, to around about the same temperature as one another. Then add your cream to your chocolate a little at a time, slowly, so not all at once. You might find some recipes for ganache encourage you to heat your cream and pour it straight onto your chocolate, where your chocolate hasn't been melted at all. But you'll find that if you do that, the risk of the ganache splitting is far greater. So I would always recommend that you add your liquid to your chocolate in small batches to get a lovely glossy ganache. So what? Now the exciting thing happens if I can just find a piping bag. And this is my spare pair of hands. When I'm working on my own, I don't have a spare pair of hands, and I'm rubbish at trying to balance bowls and spatulas and piping bags, so I just put the piping bag inside my cup and just, there we go, scrape the ganache into the piping bag. So this ganache is ready for making truffles. So what I'm going to show you next with this particular ganache is how to make hand-rolled truffles. So this particular mixture would be put into the fridge in a bowl perhaps to set, which is what's happened here. So this ganache has been set in the fridge, and what I would then do is find my gloves. There we go. So I grab a spoon and just get a teaspoon full of the ganache filling, and then using the warmth of my hands, just roll the ganache into a ball like that. And you can just repeat that. So I'll just do one more just so you can see how that's working. There we go. And then those would go back into the fridge because they've softened up a bit on the surface, and just to let them firm up a little bit more. And then what you could do is finishing your truffles off. So these are ones that I have had in the fridge for a little bit. And what I can then do is finish them off with some mixed nuts or some cocoa powder, for example. So I would just drop a truffle in the cocoa powder like that, tap off the excess, and just put it on the table there like that. And that's ready for guzzling. There we go. And if I do the same in the nuts. So this ganache that I have brought out of the fridge for you is actually also flavoured. So that's something that you can do once you have made your ganache with just the cream and the chocolate. You can add some flavouring to it. And in this case I have added a measure of amaretto. But flavouring your ganaches is something else that we can explore in another demonstration going forward as well. So there you have it. A simple ganache, just cream and chocolate and rolled in your hands to make wonderful artisan truffles, which you can coat with whatever you like, really. Thank you very much for watching this demonstration. I'm really interested to know what you think and how you're getting along. And therefore please drop into my website where you'll find a contact page, nenettechocolates.co.uk. And if you have any questions, let me know. Also, don't forget to subscribe and to hit the notification bell, and that way you'll get to know about all the future demonstrations when they arrive.